Bună seara! We are again at the Damian Draghici podcast. And as I promised you, I always want to bring people very, very special for me and very special for you. People that they can help us, people that can inform us, and people that can bring us to our authentic and true self. So tonight again, I have an amazing human being, an amazing therapist, and a very, very knowledgeable man and a very good man. We had a podcast 3 months ago. It's been a real success. And tonight I have the honor to introduce again Menis Yousry. Hi, Menis.
Thank you for the invitation. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Yes.
How come 3 months went so fast? June 5th, September 6th, only 90 days. It's like a snap of a finger.
Yes.
And although sometimes in the moment that you are in a situation, let's say not in the day we did the podcast, the day before or after the day, you had something unpleasant, whatever, and you think that it wasn't nice, or you're not going through a good phase. And then 3 months, 6 months later, when you look back, actually, that was not so bad as it is right now. Although even now it's not bad, but it's always, sometimes it's looking backwards, things are looking better.
Yes. Oh, okay.
So, please tell me, time goes fast, you said, and we have a very short time here. Are we aware of this?
Of course not. If we're aware of this, we'll have no problems at all. Everybody think that we're going to live forever and we have plenty of time, and we actually, I think, we're wasting our time here, worrying about things that no longer exist. You know, everybody knows what I said, but we still keep doing it. You know, it is a short time that we are here in this world, and I think probably when you get a bit older, you start to realize that the really time here is extremely valuable, and not to waste it on anything, especially thinking about things that happened in the past that no longer exist. The difficult thing is, while I'm talking to you now, is that I think there is hundreds and hundreds of books and lectures and courses teaching us this, what I'm saying, but still we're not getting it. Yes, we're not getting it, which is amazing, actually.
It's unbelievable that it's been presented to us, it's been taught to us by teachers, by gurus, by shamans, by everybody, and somehow we don't get it.
And we will never get it.
Why?
Because you cannot learn by information. Impossible.
Only by experience.
Yes. Yes, this is also, people know that, but they're still trying to get as much information as possible. We need to move away from trying to acquire information to be better. And this is what everybody's trying to do. We're trying to gain as much knowledge as possible. The truth about life cannot be taught, but it must be caught, if you know what I mean. Like you need to catch it, not to learn it, because it's there in front of us. And everybody truth is different than the other person. So now people who are watching this podcast, they need to relax completely and not to try to learn anything from what I'm saying until they catch something for themselves, you see. And if they are watching this now, trying to wait what I'm going to say next so they can learn from it, they are not learning anything. Because the biggest enemy in our life is the desire to be something, to do something, to learn something.
This is the biggest suffering sickness.
Absolutely, absolutely. And when you have that desire, you are caught in time. Because if I want to be something or learn something or desire something, I join the time. You understand? Because anything I want will require when will I achieve it. So I have to get myself trapped in the time. But if I don't want anything, I will not get trapped in the time. I will be here now. You see? And there's something I said in the previous podcast. We are caught in trying to be, but we need to be only, not trying to be. We caught on the becoming. We want to become something. And the biggest enemy for us in life is our desire, basically. You know, and this, again, everybody know about this too. It doesn't mean when we speak that it's not good at all for people to listen to, but also the person who is ready and have some kind of self-awareness and and progress will catch from us the energy between the words for themselves while we're talking together now, rather than trying so hard to learn something so they can feel better according to their own desire to be whatever they want to be.
I remember a title of a book. I went once to a therapist. It's funny because it's like as many books as I bought.
Yes.
I didn't see it in the library or the bibliothèque, and I went to a therapist and there was a book written. If you are so smart and you read so many books, why are you still so unhappy?
Yes.
So I don't remember the author, but it's exactly the answer to what you said right now. It's like, okay, so if you have all this information, why do you still suffer so much? Because it's just information. You didn't somatize it. It's not inside of you. It wasn't an experience. So it might translate. I would translate it like, you cannot learn how to kiss from a book. You have to kiss. You cannot make love in a book. I see this in the gypsy culture, my people.
Yes.
Where the kids, they are 7, 8 years old, and you know that, and they pick up the violin, they start playing, and they play by ear. And by 15, 17, they play amazing things, and do you read notes? I mean, somebody who takes the information.
Yes.
And you have someone else who takes the information and barely can play something because he did the experience, not the not the information.
It's the same like learning a language. The best way to learn a language is not to go to school to learn the language. It's to be with the people who speak the language. So you can experience it from them. This is the fastest way to speak. But if you go to school and memorize the rules, and of course it will make it better, but you will be speaking more mechanically than spontaneous, like what you're saying. Yes.
Almost academically. I can approve for this. When I ran away from Romania, I arrived in Greece.
Yes.
And I learned Greek in 3 months. And now after 33 years, I still speak it the same way. It's like,
really?
Yeah, and I write and then read, and it's amazing because I don't think it would have been the same if I would have learned it in school.
Actually, I had the same experience in Greece too. When I was a student, I went for the summer and I worked in hotel there.
Milas Elenica?
In Greece, yes. And I learned to speak very quickly, but many, many years ago. It was a village. Nobody spoke anything but Greek.
So it was the perfect place.
Oh, it was so easy. Not easy to learn, but it was.
Yeah.
The
You are obligated.
yes.
I learned French in school.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone. Completely gone.
Oh,
Because you have to use it, so it's
yes,
obvious.
Yes.
So it's not the information, it's the experience.
Yes.
So the old people, like we say in Romania, we have a saying: if you don't have an old person bite, get an old person because it's wise. It's not wise in the folklore, in the very popular terms. It's not wise because of his readings or because of his academic credentials. He's wise because of his experience.
Yes. But you know, experience also very dangerous because many of us had bad experiences as well, and that's where we are really struggling in our life, because we also our action behavior based on previous experience as well. So everybody has a plan, has a map of how life works, and we apply this map in every situation we have based on our previous experience also.
So in a way, we are so predictable. We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 experiences, let's say. Some of them, they have a bigger impact on us.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, they become a childhood trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, they become complex PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them, they excruciate us so painfully and so strong, and we somatize them so well in our nervous system, then we start believing that life from now on is going to be like that, only like that. And then everything that comes towards us, I never go there. So
Yes.
you block yourself.
Yeah, I think you're saying it correctly, but there is a little bit more than that. Life is totally unpredictable. The only thing consistent in life is inconsistency. It's clear, yeah. But our mind, people don't know what the mind is, and nobody will ever know. Our mind is energy. It's only energy, and this energy is the energy that moves between the cells. This is the mind, actually. I know I'm making it so simple. It's not as simple as that. This energy has been circulating in our brain and body, inside us and between us. It's moving in a certain way and built up, as I said, a map of life. Yes? And the mind, and you can call it ego, you can call it many things, wants things to stay exactly as it was. Because the familiarity, the known, is where our safety is. So what you said about difficult things in life, they are difficult, they are painful, but they are safe. Because this is what we know. If anybody wants to be free, they must jump to the unknown. Totally. And this is the hardest thing in the world. The humanity is caught onto something. We caught onto keep doing the same thing non-stop. Because our brain, our mind is limited. It cannot go any further. And the people who escape from this, there are two types of people. Some of them a little mad or crazy, yes, or unique, unusual, or have some kind of even a little disability or something, yes, because they cannot maintain the consistency. Or some people are very like highly, their consciousness is very high. They can escape, but everybody else can't. And just one sentence I tell you: if we learned from our mistakes. If you learn from mistakes, if I learn my mistakes, I will be genius by now. You understand? But we don't. We do it again and again because this is where we gravitated towards safety in unsafety. You see? That's where we are. If you are thinking while I'm talking about how to get out of this, yes? Did you think something like this? How we move?
I'm not thinking anymore.
Good. But
I'm just thinking one thing.
mm,
Because all of us, including me, we are so desperate. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind after the desire of being somebody, having, learning, is this thing of certainty. We are looking for, so desperate for certainty.
This is where safety is. This is our safety. You see?
Why?
Familiarity. This is where our sense of survival is. We want to see everything the same as before. And we can't get out of it. And the best example for this is that, I will... something happened to me at university when I was in Egypt. And it came spontaneously that I didn't think about. We were having a conversation about the war between Israel and Egypt. And people having discussion after discussion about the Israelis and the Arabs. And then I shared something without even realizing. And I was thinking, if God came down and told us, I made a mistake, there is no Arabs and Israelis, what are we going to do? Yes? Everybody looked at me like a crazy person. Then I realized at this moment, we are not even Arabs or Israelis. This is our safety. We need to belong to somebody. We need to belong to something. We need to be held by somebody. And now if you go now further with this, you realize when you're born, yes, you didn't know that you existed. The only person who existed is the person who brought you here. Yes? I don't think even a baby knows they have either face or eyes, nothing. Yes? And we want that person to stay. The source of our safety.
The mother.
A mother, yes.
And then we replace that with anything else in our life.
Yeah, but we start to get attached to things. Your country, your culture, your beliefs, your ideas. And our mind start accumulating all your life things to hang on to. And we become so stubborn. We will never ever let go of this. When I do my courses and I tell people about the culture you live in, your country, is an energy field for your mind to hang on to. Like I used to say the example, the fish doesn't know there is water. You understand? This is the water we're swimming in. But we don't know. You can go anywhere else. It doesn't matter. I am actually lucky that I moved a lot and I lived in many, many places. I lost a sense of I need to belong to here or there or there. I think many people can identify with this. Yes. But I am actually comfortable being in places where people speak in different languages. And then one day I was arriving to Hungary in the airport, and I saw Hungarians speaking Hungarian. And all my learning come from just observation from life, you see. And then I was wondering why there are so many languages and people speaking. I realized the language they speak together make them feel safe, that they belong to something and they can speak in a certain way, they are together, you see. So even the language itself is a source of safety for people.
Almost, I think, 6,000 languages or something.
Yeah, not only, nobody outsider will come and take this away from them.
Yeah.
So it is only, and I think everybody think their language, their country, their culture is the best in the world.
And they would fight to death for if somebody says, "Oh, this language, your language is what? Wow, it's my language."
Yeah.
So he says it's my safety.
Yes, that's right. If you want to take this to relationships, it'll be very interesting. One of the sources of problems in all relationships, one, I think it could be the most important one, I don't know, that your partner has a plan or a map different from yours. Yes? Each one of us convince and think my plan is the right one. Yes? My partner thinks the same way. And lots of books about values and beliefs, and everybody has a different beliefs. No matter how much you communicate with your partner. No. And people go and do, say, courses and trainings and read books about communication. And I will tell everybody now, communication never works. Because when you communicate with the person, they translate it to their own plan. You see? And they don't listen to you, and you keep trying and trying and trying. And unfortunately, we will never give up. The real learning in relationship with something I am learning, and I have not reached the end yet, that really what the other person is doing for them, it is right for them. And they are right. And I'm right also. There are two rights can live together, not one right and one wrong. This is hard. But the plan everybody has is based on trauma, past, history. The person who can escape can live with anybody. No problem. You see?
So, even when we get in love
Yes.
with someone, we actually always bring our luggage, our experiences.
Yes.
And although the other person is the way it is,
Yes.
then you change her somehow, basically through your own experiences. You modulate her or him in your own way.
Yes. And if they change for you, it's not good either. Because they will follow what you want in order to keep the relationship going, which is probably one of the stages anyway. But I think we need to rise much higher and let people do what they want. Of course, within reason. If they do something completely that totally illegal or destructive, I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about the habits people have. We need to rise so high to a level where we live and let everybody do what they want.
So if you love someone, you let them free.
Yes.
Let them be.
Yes, but the word love is very explosive because it has many association with other things and romanticism and sacrifice and drama and everything. So because also the language has associations, has also have history and have like the word control, for example. When you hear the word control, people automatically think this person is difficult. But actually, we all are controlling. Everybody is. If you're not controlling, you will not survive. You have to. Yeah. You can't just be out of control, you know? And so the word love is very explosive as well.
Something came to my head last time when we met, and I forgot to ask you. And you brought now the subject of love. Why do we pretend so much? We are so fake, and we do anything possible in the beginning of the relationship in order to make our partner, lover, to like us and to accept us. And 6 months later, 1 year later, 3 months later, we start showing our real face.
You mean the honeymoon period? Yeah. You can't pretend forever. You can't. And everybody wants to be loved by somebody. Everybody. Yes, it's a fact of life. Yeah. And if I want my partner to love me, I will do many things to get this person to love me. But I can't sustain being fake for a long time. I cannot. Because sooner or later, like when people trying to lose weight, yes, they go on a very strict diet, they lose weight, everything is fine, but the system comes back, catch up with them later. They cannot sustain it for a very long time.
Because they are pretending.
They are. What I say is, in this life, nothing can be forced. If you force anything, sooner or later it will not work. Like information, like knowledge. You force yourself to do and learn something, but sooner or later you're going to back to the baseline again, to how you normally function. So really, we need to go deep in our soul and see what we're doing that is not working.
There are lots of people talking in podcasts, in books, in recorded videos about the higher self, the soul, our mission here. How can we get in touch with the intuition? What is the difference between intuition and ego? When do you know that it's the ego talking? When you know that it's the intuition? So there is a very broad range of information about all of these things, but nobody puts the finger to say, okay, that's how you can get in touch with your soul, your higher self, and know what you want or what is real you. Because you are also bombarded, and I think it's not only now in our time. I think it's been 50, 100, 200 years ago before the social media. And it was even in our time 10, 20 years ago before the social media. This temptation to be like others, these temptations to have, to desire. So then, how do you know what your soul, your higher self, your real you wants, your intuition?
You will never know, because we caught on desire. We will never know. You need to reverse your question completely. Because if I tell you what to do, how I know, you get caught in a desire again. Every one of us have what we want. It's better not to learn how to have it. It's better to remove the obstacle that's stopping us from recognizing it. You see? So now, you know, the old Buddhist teachings, the real wisdom, they all agree on one thing. The obstacle, we will go back to the first conversation. As long as you want something, you are in trouble. In this life, we are haunted by two things. Everything we want, everything we don't want. They are haunting us all the time. They're organizing everything that we are doing in this life. You can't stop yourself not wanting anything. You cannot. We need to look the truth of you, who you are will only be achieved by a compassionate heart. Do I have enough compassion for myself to see my faults, my desire, my ambition, the way I want to crush other people to arrive compassionately? That's all we need to do. I don't like to put it this way because now I stepped into another method, but that's what we need to do, or to be aware of. From all the years I have worked with people and I see many things, I'm beginning to realize more and more I don't like the word only. It could be very effective if you see what you do with a lot of compassion for you, without any desire to change it. Having said that, it may be difficult to achieve without being in the presence of somebody who has arrived as well, because they will resonate in such a way in their energy that you will move with them a bit. I learned this in the most strange way. I was an artist for many years before, and I went to art college. And when I was young, I went actually to art college because I couldn't do very well at school, and I became a very good artist. But when I went to art college, these days all the students in the art college came from a special art secondary school, but I didn't. I came from a conventional school, and I had a great disadvantage because I couldn't draw at all. But these days they accept people to art college because they didn't get good marks in the secondary school. I noticed something very, very interesting. When we sit and draw models or something, when I sit next to a person who loves and draw very well, I draw better. Couldn't understand it. The person's not doing anything. He's not telling me anything. Then I was just thinking, this is the best way to teach, is to be in the energy of somebody who has arrived. But when the teacher came and showed me and taught me how to draw, I couldn't. And the person was not doing anything. You see? And in fact, I became better than all of them because they became technicians. I was innocent. I couldn't draw, but I caught the essence of the art. You see? Because I knew that I will not be able to do great things, but they were happening by themselves. And I remember we had a very famous teacher, very, very famous, and he used to come and examine all our work, and the people were drawing the most amazing thing, and he always used to come and look at my things, and he was at awe, even it was not drawn very well, because I was so innocent. I didn't even have a plan how it should look like and be like. And the question remains, can we be in this world innocent about life? Or we have to learn everything?
There was a movie several years ago with Brad Pitt, Benjamin Button.
Yes.
And very interesting perspective. He was born old
and became
he died young.
Yeah, that was fascinating.
Yeah, and really interesting and very nice, well done movie. And usually when you look at older people when they are in our care towards the very end of their life, they are like little kids. I mean, there was not a difference between Brad Pitt, Benjamin Button, or the older.
Yeah.
Because he became a kid, but he was also like a little one, like in the beginning. So it's pretty much the same, because you still have to feed him, you have to wash him, to take care of him. So, although, like you said before, we get attached to all this power, to all this, we go from here where we have nothing, we become this strong man or woman, and we want to go higher, higher. We go, and then all of a sudden.
Yes. You know, this is the idea about the pyramids in Egypt. They represent your life. You go higher and you come down again. That's why they made that shape. The pyramid is a grave for a person, you know. So the whole idea, you reach the top and you come back again to where you started. But hopefully the second time, when you should be wiser. But we're not.
Do you believe in I'm asking a question and I'm looking for an answer, so I'm getting again in the desire to know. Do you believe in afterlife?
You know, I'll answer it indirectly.
Or not believe? Or
You mean reincarnation? You mean
reincarnation? Yeah.
Yes. Do you realize that everybody thinks they in the past life they were kings and queens? Where is the cleaners? Where is the where is the beggars?
Where is the fireman?
Where are these people? It's very difficult because I actually don't believe or believe about it. I just leave it like this, and I don't see anything in it. Even though there is a moment I had glimpses of it, and
that's what I meant to ask you.
Yeah.
Do you let your mind wander about this sometimes?
Not wonder. I'm involved in some kind of educating people, which this is not the right way to say it, but I am doing something with people, yes. And I have achieved things and I learned things over the years, and some of them are very difficult, and I involved in working with a lot of people and communicating some messages to them, yes. And many occasions I discovered that I had glimpses of, I've done this before. And I had many glimpses that I've done it and people never understood. And I don't know why this is coming. And many times when I'm writing books and discovering things, and I feel that I'm actually doing the same thing again. And this I cannot explain. I don't understand, really. So, but I don't want to be attached that I was living before doing something and I came back to repeat it again. But many situations in seminars or working with people, I have this, I've been here before. But it could be just coincidence, could be anything, so I don't want to be attached to this. But I think people who touch something, this is open a very big topic about purpose and about why you're here and things like this. There are people doing things in their life with such an innocence and such a drive that has no purpose at all. And they don't even understand why they're doing it. And this is the ones I think that they have the magic. When it's happening, just happening, and it doesn't even make any sense, but they will find themselves doing it
ways
with a huge amount of patience and they don't think they're wasting their time at all, even if it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And this is something there. This is now the opposite of what everybody's trying to do, because this cannot be manufactured. It kind of flows. And so there's something I don't understand, but I have experienced it a lot. These people are the greatest teachers to us, because the real teacher does not teach.
The real teacher does not teach. Why I don't have enough time? Why I'm in a constant rush? And there is not enough time.
Can you cope with the answer? Can you cope with my answer?
Yes. I got caught in time.
No, I don't think so. I can give you a possibility. You want everything. There will never be enough time. If I'm not fulfilled, it doesn't have to apply to you, but generally,
Please.
I would want everything all the time. I will never be satisfied. The time will never be enough for me. I'm learning more and more that wherever I go, I stop and I sit and look around me and experience that I have too much. I have too much. And we are caught on I want more. Time will never be enough. In fact, we'll be very stressed. You see? But again...
So when there is not enough time, it's because you want more.
You want more. I'm not fulfilled. I have to. You know, we have become a very consumer world, yes? We need something to make me be something. Non-stop. But nothing in the world will make you be something. Nothing. It's not possible. And I mentioned this maybe the last time we met. The poorer people are happier than rich people. You remember we talked about this? Why? The poor person is still thinking, if I am rich, I'll be happy. But the rich person is in trouble. They have got what they want, they're still not happy. So they are stuck. So what are you going to do? They start to become spiritual, thinking, if I'm enlightened, I will be happy. But they're in the same trap, but in a different level, you see? Or they're trying to learn. That's why most therapy and personal development started with rich people first. Actually, it was...
Because they can afford.
Not only can afford it, because they're not hungry anymore.
They have time.
They're not hungry. The hungry person want to eat and will be okay. But the rich person is not hungry. So they
has time to search for himself.
Yeah, this is like they call it the hierarchy of needs. They have reached the top. Now the only thing they have to look for is to become spiritual and learn about why we're here in this world. But the hungry person doesn't want to know why we're here. They want to eat. You see? That's why in the West, really, all the therapy, depression, suicide, all came from here, not from the East. Yes, they are. But having said that, there's no East and West anymore. That is gone. It's going. In fact,
it's going to be gone.
Yeah, you can say that. It almost disappearing. They're still in East Coast on some tradition and beliefs that holding them back a little bit, but they are probably worse than us now in this area. They are all gone to their mind and so much want to be like the West.
So I have a little bit more time, or maybe I don't need so much or so much more.
Yeah.
when I'm doing the 7-day water fast, time dilutes, time changes.
Yes.
Because I'm conserving my energy.
Yes.
I don't get a source of energy from outside, from caloric energy, in order to run. I just have very little energy, and I'm just conserving it. And then I have enough time, because I'm like... So that's the moment that I am in the body at the moment. I'm not anymore in the head so much, no?
I think something, this I don't understand, but something about fasting does something to the body and mind. It does something. And I heard that a lot before. It can be very good for your, because also the food is another big distraction as well. And
a big drug.
Big drug, and we all eat more than we need. This is another thing that I really struggled with as well. You know.
Sometimes we also run after food, even when we are rich.
Yes.
Oh my God, I have to go really fast to eat something, because right now I need to eat something. I'm dying if I'm not eating.
But you know, the comment he made made me think about something now. We are here in the West fasting, to feel better, yes. But in other countries, they are fasting because they have no food. Isn't that amazing? So
we used to fast, me and my family, when we were kids, because we didn't have food.
Yes.
And now, myself, the Damian that has done things in the life, I'm doing anything in my powers not to touch sugar. It's so not good for us, not healthy. And in the childhood, we didn't have bananas, oranges, fruits, chocolates, anything. And also in my house, we didn't have money to buy sweets or, dessert, the Romanian dessert. Or anyway, the cafeteria didn't have any type of the store. And the best dessert would be bread. We'd put it under water. We'd make it wet, and then we'd put sugar on top.
But you see, in your childhood there was deprivation, yes? Now there's another kind of deprivation. You are depriving yourself from.
Yeah.
There are two extremes, you see. This is difficult because in both cases there is something going against the flow. You see, it's like a bit like people in prison, yes? When somebody commit a crime inside the prison, yes? They put them in solitary confinement, they don't...
Yeah. In the room without light.
Right, without light, alone, don't talk to anybody. Then I learned, which you know this, what I'm going to tell you, very rich people go to seminar for a silent
dark retreat.
Dark retreat.
Before it was Vipassana, and now there is 7 days dark retreat where we go completely dark.
It's the same thing. Exactly the same thing. Both are no good. Both. Because it is manufacturing something to do to be better. You see, like when you deprive people, they are hurting. They don't want it. And when you go and force yourself not to eat, or force yourself to not to speak and be, you are. Why? Why are we doing this? We have a desire to be better.
To find something out about yourself, to see if you are going crazy, to see if the thoughts are yours or are the thoughts of your wife, or the triggers or the coping mechanisms.
It's, I don't know what to tell you what's better, but I think there are two extremes, and the two opposites are exactly the same.
And usually, I'm not a psychoanalyst and psychotherapist like you and a specialist, but usually, from what I've seen in the movies, or I haven't even read anything special about this, but usually the people from the confinement, as you said, in the prison,
Yes.
when they get out of there, they get even more angry.
Yeah, because they are forced. And the person who's fasting is forced as well. They have become their own prosecutor. This is something very personal, because I suffer from this a lot, because I didn't want to be fat. And when I force myself not to eat, I am actually hurting myself. You see?
But everybody says that it's good for you to autophagy. It's good for your cell. It's good for your brain. It's good for you.
It's good for you, but it must never be forced.
So you could fast without forcing?
I was wondering, I'm thinking about this a lot. Will it be, we see the food is the same as consumer.
Yeah.
You see, I want to eat, I want this, because I have managed to overcome buying things, but I didn't yet overcome buying food. This is a metaphor, like want food all the time. It's the same thing. So if I judge somebody who's buying things, I am doing the same, but with food. It's no different. I want all the food in the world to eat it, you see. So I need to grow in such a way that I eat when I want to eat, and I stop when I want to stop. Not to stop when I want to eat. You understand? I need to flow. And I think if I get there, I will know that I have moved on to another level. You see? It's very difficult, this. Nothing in this world must be forced. It has to flow by itself. And then you talked about love, remember, in the beginning? This is the perfect example. It can never be forced. It has to flow by itself. I think this is the only thing in life. I think maybe the other things that you do not make yourself love a person. You cannot. You cannot make yourself not love a person either. It flows by itself. But in the beginning, people try to do things, but they're not conscious they're doing that. You see?
Do you think that if you don't force things, as you said, and I believe you,
I have to believe me now.
that means that you must have a complete blind trust in the universe. To be completely in the faith of your God or the gods or the divine intelligence, no? In order to not to force anything. I mean, to believe innate inside of you, to believe that no matter what, you don't even have to believe that. Just to not force anything.
You're actually alive because of this. You realize? If you don't trust, you will not be alive. Because we are extremely vulnerable. We didn't ask to be here. We didn't decide this. And we are here on trust. Actually. And I think some illnesses happen because of lack of trust. We are, anything can kill us in any moment. Any virus, anything. We are here extremely vulnerable. But we trust we're alive. That's why we're alive, I think. The other cycle of getting old and dying, there's a different matter. But we are in total trust of life.
At any moment.
Yeah, yeah. It is possible, I can't say this because this will cause a lot of problems, that if I lose trust in life, I probably get sick.
Yeah.
And I think...
and it's funny that you bring this up.
Yeah.
A minute ago, I was thinking about an experiment
Mm.
during the World War II.
Mm.
No, during the Vietnam War.
Yes.
When the Vietnamese, I know that you just came from Vietnam.
Yes.
When the Vietnamese, they would have a prisoner of wars, the Americans.
Yes, yes.
They figure out a way about losing trust in life, like you said.
Uh-huh.
So because, you know, they are very meticulous and they write very well,
Mm-hmm.
they thought of a technique. So when the Americans, they would receive the letters from their wife or mothers,
Mm-hmm.
they took the letters and they copied exactly the writing of the mother or wife or kid.
Mm-hmm.
And they're writing, okay, dear Menis, we don't expect you to come back. We know you are dead. It wasn't the real letter.
Oh, my
They would
God.
write a different letter to them.
Uh-huh.
We know you are dead and that's it. Life. I move on and I marry somebody else.
Oh my God.
Whatever. So the people would be okay. They would take the letter. They would read it. They would put a blanket on their head in a corner and the next day they would die.
My God.
Because they would lose the trust in life.
Yes. Yes.
It's exactly what you said.
Yes. I think so. I think the people who get sick, they don't believe in life anymore. The moment you're born, you trusted your life. Yeah. You trust someone with your life. And if you're talking about therapy and all the problems in life come from this betrayal of trust. I'd say 99% of people who have mental problems, to various degrees, of course.
All of us, we have mental problems.
Various
degrees, yeah.
Are betrayed. We've been betrayed.
Father, mother, girlfriend.
We have trusted life, and the person who brought us here is the host that invited us and betrayed us. Of course, they didn't do it on purpose and didn't want to betray us, but this is how the experience was. And this is the source of every problems we have in relationships, in life, in work, everything.
So usually the problem, as you say, and we spoke about this last time, is the problem with the mother, because it's the person who brought us here.
Of course, yeah, mother, and of course, father comes later, and other people, and then we have a predisposition, and everything else after happened, relationships, people losing a job, somebody take money from you, it start escalate.
The first one, it's basically with the mother.
Yes.
If you are betrayed there,
the betrayal can happen before you're born as well. Like if the mother wanted to have an abortion, for example, this is already a betrayal.
you know it.
Yes, something, because you are feeding from her emotions, from her all the energy now. Your mind is. You talked about the nervous system before. I'm not sure nervous system exists. There is something else, but we only have these words now. The first thing that created in the fetus, first thing, is something like a nervous system, before even the heart. That's the first thing. That's the first mind. It's
Like a spider web.
Yeah, it's a constellation of neurons, and when a group of cells and neurons comes together, this is something the science begin to discover. They have their own emerged self-regulation, self-functioning, like a country. If you have a country, every group, there's some system emerge to manage it. It comes from itself, yeah. And the thing that manages is it's itself managing itself. You see, this is a normal function for every things that come together. So that's first that emerge, and that has a mind, an energy, and that's what it feeds from the energy of the mother, of course. And later that becomes belief structures. It grows, and then the heart. Everything comes after that. So the first thing that started for us before we created, and this is what controlled all the rest of our life.
So here I come with this question. What women want?
You have to ask them. You're asking me. It's a wrong question.
So the question should be, what men they don't know how to do?
You know, the struggle between men and women is so amazing because we are looking at the small picture. There is no man and a woman. There's no such a thing. A man has a woman inside, and a woman has a man inside. That's all. So we are busy all our life, yes, making a war discussion. This is the duality of life, you see, about men and women. Yeah. What if you're all the same? There will be no war. How many books written about how man is different than woman, how woman different than a man, how should we communicate, I taught this for years. Man is protector, woman is carer, all these kind of things. But really, I feel that a man is a woman and a man, but the conscious part is a man and unconscious a woman, and the other way around.
So if we go back to Adam and the rib,
well, all these stories in the Bible and things are very metaphoric, because the knowledge that's communicated, whatever it was, it's too high for our mind to understand. So they had to come in the form of stories, because it's impossible to really understand what is this, who we are. So we have very beautiful stories, and the person who's so high evolved will catch in the story the wisdom of
the metaphor,
the wisdom of the creator of the story. But the idiots will teach the stories to people, and the ignorant people will think the stories are true. And this is the problem we have now. People are teaching us stories that they don't even understand what it
themselves.
means. But it is not the story, it is the creator of the story. Is the I'm very interested, not what people say, in the mind of the person who speaks to me, much more than what they say, what they teach, what they want. Their mind, where is coming from this? Who is this person is? All my life I'm fascinated by people's mind, not what they're doing, not even the questions they're asking, because this is where the essence of the person is. And I'm absolutely sure and almost sure that there is no persons, not one person like another. And to me, this is the magic and mystery of our creation. All these billions of people who lived and died,
And so different.
it's amazing. Like you, the most simple example is there is no two people in the world have the same fingerprint. Look how many people on Earth.
It's unbelievable. Even if we were a computer simulation, would be difficult. It's
Yes.
incredibly difficult.
Yes, yes,
I mean, someone so genius, so creative to make this happen. It's unbelievable.
yes, yes.
And all of us to be sometimes on the same frequency, on the same vibration, and to have the same type of energy fields and all this. It's like so complex.
If this is true, that no one is the same, why do we want to learn from somebody? It's not possible.
From inferiority complex, thinking that the other one knows more.
Yeah. This is what I said. The truth must be caught, not taught. You have to catch it. You catch it. It's flowing. You catch it according to where you are. Where are you in life? You see. And the work I do in courses and seminars, for some people it's enlightening, and some people it's extremely confusing. Yes, because the people who come trying to learn something and use it will be very confused. But the people who are really coming and they are moving and want to be who they are, they reach very high.
The experience.
Yeah, but having said that, the people who are confused and don't even know, it is one of the stages. They will also move and get there eventually, because this we have to start somewhere. It's like this.
What a man needs from a woman and what a woman needs from a man in a relationship. Respect, love, protection, providing. What is the dynamic?
Can I answer it in an indirect way, if
Yes.
I can? In a question. I use that question in some of the courses I do. Can you be yourself in a relationship?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
This is what everybody wants. But they don't know.
They want to be themselves.
Can I be with my partner and be Menis? Not worried about what is going to happen. I need to be sensitive, of course, to my partner and my wife. I need to be sensitive to everything and be careful and accommodating. But can I not lose myself with the person I am with? This is one thing, okay? If I can do that, this relationship will be the most loving, the most spiritual, the most rewarding in the world. I'm not sure people actually understand this, because the hardest thing in the world is to actually be with a person. To be with a person, that's not very easy. It's very difficult to, but you can reach a level where you are totally free and be yourself with a person. And I think this probably what everybody wants in a relationship. And if you reach this, it will be absolutely total joy, and I can't explain it, to be with this person, because you are with you in a relationship. You see? So when you ask me what a man wants from a woman, what wants from a man, I had to come to the question this way, because whatever I'm going to tell you, it will become a technique for people to try to achieve, to learn. Yeah. You know, the most difficult thing people do in relationship is to share their feelings. It's an ultimate manipulation, because your feelings shows on your face, in your energy, in your action, in your movement. You know that in the relationship, your partner can smell even how you think. Why sharing your feelings? When you share your feelings, you're trying to block it. You see? So this is, for me, is the most important thing. That I want to be me. I cannot be me in a relationship if I am caught on trying to make my partner do something I don't like, or trying to convince the person I'm in a relationship with to follow the way I lived that that person cannot live. And this gets very hard. So I have to work on myself in such a way that I need to be at peace with what they are doing, what they believe in, what they want. And if the other person do the same, what a wonderful relationship would that be? And I think if you touch that in a person, you every day with this person will be new. And
if she accepts you, or if he accepts you.
Well, one person has to start, you know. And I think if one person starts, this other person will start smelling it, learn from it. I'm now clear more and more every day that you cannot convince anybody anything. You cannot. If I want to convince you, if I'm in a relationship with, I want to convince my partner to do something, it's like this. Describe it, and this is not undermining my partner at all, or anybody in a relationship. You cannot describe the taste of sugar to somebody who have never tasted before. You cannot describe to a blind person colors. You cannot. My beliefs are colors. Another person believes are colors, but I am blind. I cannot. What is the best way to do is to let everybody paint life with their own colors, but be there with them. I have not achieved all this I'm saying to you, but I am kind of moving slowly towards it.
Yeah.
Moving slowly. And this is something I have not read in books. I started to learn from previous relationship, things that happened before, and the hardest thing I'm going to tell you now about all this learning is I was wondering that maybe we will learn after suffering. I don't promote suffering. I don't say that we have to suffer to learn, but maybe for some of us we need to feel the pain. It's like when I talk about people who cannot appreciate what they have because they have never been poor. They have never been poor enough. You know? Like, how can you make a child who was born and had everything they want and live a rich life and try to teach them to be grateful? They cannot. It's impossible. I don't blame them. How can? Because this is what they have. But if this child have really seen pain, suffering, deprivation, and really touch the soul, then when they have everything, they will stop and say, my God, this is amazing. What a wonderful life I have. You see? This what I think. This the same. It's the same. And this where the learning is very. That's why I now hardly recommend that we do our best not to force anybody anything. It's not possible. But you can say, of course, you can speak, you can give suggestions, you can, but still, people have to go through the experience for them. But I want to go back to something I said in the beginning. This word is very bad. One of the things I began to learn is you can only learn when you have compassion in your heart for you and for others.
Not to be confused with empathy, compassion.
Compassion for you and for others. You know, compassion, you don't have to do everything they want. No, it's just to sense their pain. The best way to reach this quickly is to love a mad person who hates you.
To love
a mad person who hates you. You will learn compassion. Not to force us to just to be with them.
That's it.
Accept somebody who cannot accept you. You know? You will learn. This is one of the ways. And this happened to us sometimes by nature. You end up with situation, one of your family.
In a certain context.
Yes.
And you are in that context in order to teach you compassion.
It's not teaches you, it will emerge inside of you if you don't go mad. Really, if you don't go mad. And every situation come in our life that's so difficult and unsolvable is a gift to learn compassion, or to be angry and resentful with the whole world.
I wanted to ask another question, but I'm not asking question anymore.
No, but it's fine. We may have to start this way, I guess.
Love is. So I'm not saying what love is. I'm saying love is.
Absolutely nothing whatsoever. It cannot be named.
We give it a name.
You know, all these gurus and teachers over the years talk about love all the time, yes? And the word is so overused. But I thought about it one day. Why they keep saying this all the time? Love, and life is very difficult. And then I thought of something. I think they got it, but we haven't got it. They keep saying to us because they know what it is, but they're very frustrated. And we're not getting it. We're not getting it. It's a very good example in front of you. Most songs about love. And this is the how many songs you can write about love anymore? There are millions. Yeah, they're still effective.
So many.
They're still attracting people to go and listen again and again. It is the same, but still, there's something we still can't catch yet. You see?
And there are millions of songs.
Yeah, you see, naming something, you have destroyed it. Once you give...
One last question.
Yes.
There are okay people, there are sad people, there are depressed people, and let's say there may be a small percentage of in and out happy people.
Yeah, okay.
What makes the difference between those four states? It's our perspective, it's our narrative, it's again the childhood experiences, it's transgenerational trauma, it's past lives, it's the baby in the fetus, it's astrogram, it's numerology, it's constellations, it's...
Do you really want to know the answer? Why are you asking that question?
Because I get a lot of messages and enormous amount of emails and messages about this question from our viewers.
Why people like this?
Obviously, there is a lot of... I couldn't call it... I don't want to call it mental health issues. There is a lot of suffering, distorted thinking. Everybody's about trying to figure out a way to be better, to be happier, to accomplish something. It's like they are not okay with whom they are.
I want to give an answer, but it's very cognitive answer, which is not the way I like to. It's a choice they making. Everybody is making a choice, but it is unconscious choice. It's a very harsh answer, actually. That's why everybody's in a different place. When will the time come in our life when we don't use anybody in this world, in this life, as a reason for our failure and sadness?
Thank you. Always a great pleasure
You're welcome.
and a great honor. All my respect. God bless you.
It's been wonderful talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And looking forward to see you soon.
Thank you.